In 2014, my father Francesco, an engineer engaged in a planning work on waste management, met Jorge Calaustian, engineer and president of Oilfox S.A. company. Between my father and Jorge was born first a technical comparison and then a form of technological collaboration. In 2016, Jorge, having selected a strain of Spirulina maxima from the waters of Rio de la Plata and created the first prototype plant in an artisanal manner, definitely filed in Buenos Aires an international patent that protects the intellectual property of the oil fox technology and the spirulina production process. My father is granted for the use of the patent both in Europe and in other countries where there are no foreign subsidiaries of Oilfox. Between 2017 and 2019, new plants were born in Argentina, Colombia, Australia, and Italy, while the design and the construction of plants in Nicaragua, Santo Domingo, and Singapore began, slowed by the pandemic at the beginning of the 2020, but not preventing the technology from expanding. In 2019, I take up the challenge from my father together with my sister Elena and the siblings Pasquale and Clarissa Muraca to build our own plant in Italy inside the farm Masseria Irisi on a piece of land that the Muraca company makes available on loan. So the innovative startup Biorisi S.R.L was established and under the technical direction of my father, it realizes the plant in Lamezia Terme. Biorisi, in addition to the production of spirulina, has above all the task of realizing further technological innovation of the production process as well as researching, also together with other subjects, new spirulina-based products that can enter into daily life. The nutritional properties of spirulina are now well known. More than 60% of valuable vegetable proteins, 19 of the 21 fibers that the human body needs, omega-3, omega-6, the whole range of vitamins, important minerals such as iron, potassium, and magnesium. A superfood was used could open new scenarios in international food policies. Our idea is to make spirulina a food supplement that can be used not only in the classic way as tablets and capsules to be taken daily, but also as a protein additive for other foods, transforming them into a superfood. The strategic alliance with other local producers in the food sector has allowed us to prototype other products such as spirulina pasta, spirulina pecorino cheese, spirulina ice cream, spirulina custard, spirulina orange compote, and the spirulina pesto. With the addition of spirulina, we try to give further added value to the already fine Italian cuisine, internationally recognized as one of the best cuisine in the world. Spirulina lends itself very well to all of this. It adds not only flavor, but above all, protein, elevating every single food to the rank of superfood. In specific cases, such as that one of orange compote, spirulina allows to eliminate the use of preservatives because thanks to its antioxidant power, it is spirulina itself to act as a preservative. Recent scientific researches, such as those developed by some Iranian universities, have shown that spirulina has the power to preserve and not to degrade the extra virgin olive oil over 36 months. This is an aspect that we will try to investigate in the coming months, stimulated by the fact of living in a region like Calabria, which is in Italy one of the largest producers of Evo oil. Another important development in the use of spirulina that we are pursuing is that of cosmetics. In particular, we are experimenting with the production of soaps based on Evo oil and spirulina, trying to involve universities. Spirulina for its anti-inflammatory power and for the high presence of precious pigments such as phycocyanin is receiving numerous recognition from the academic world and from scientific research in the medical sector as an adjuvant in the therapies for numerous pathologies that today are widespread in the developed world, like hypercholesterolemia, hypertriglyceridemia, anemia, immunodeficiencies, sexual impotence, and tumors. With respect to this work, we support the research activity of Professor Giacomo Antonio Rizzo, surgeon and oncologist of the University of Messina, while for the extraction of phycocyanin, we collaborate in research with a unit of the Department of Biology of the University of Calabria, directed by Professor Silvia Mazzucca. In this regard, also in relation to the pandemic in which we are involved, I would like to mention the recent publication of a team of Israeli and Icelandic scientists in the paper-reviewed journal Marine Technology, which demonstrates how spirulina can, in a completely natural way, without synthetic laboratory processes, inhibit up to the 70% of the devastating effects of COVID-19 on infected subject, as well as, of course, raise the immune defenses and therefore decrease the risk of a serious attack. Other application of spirulina can be found in the ecological remediation of lake waters contaminated both by pesticides and by microplastics. Also, on this second environmental aspect, we give our collaboration to Silvia Mazzucca of the University of Calabria. Biorisi produces spirulina under the brand name of Spirulina Fox, grown in special greenhouse with the patented oil fox technology. The fact of working in a confined greenhouse allow us to produce spirulina in a hygienic condition and with a percentage of spirulina equal to 100%. In the open-air cultivation system in use in California and Mexico, and above all in India and China, for reasons of biodiversity, other algae grow together with spirulina, which can significantly affect the nutritional properties of the product. It is no coincidence that in our spirulina packages we recommend a maximum consumption of 2 grams per day, while others suggest daily quantities of 4 or even 5 grams. Other producers use small bioreactors for the cultivation, maybe even obtaining good results, but with energy consumption for the forced growth that mortify both the naturalness of the concept of environmental friendliness of the lesser use of natural resources. In practice, our greenhouse maximizes the great resources of the Mediterranean climate and especially the quality of sunlight virtually unlimited natural resource, with a technology that makes the most of them by recreating the optimal climate for the natural growth of spirulina, the subtropical one. For us, the quality of light is fundamental, and our greenhouse are designed according to the location in relation to the geographical position, meridian and parallel, even outside the typical climatic zone, which is subtropical between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. And one of our studies has localized the areas of the heart where our technology is most applicable from the point of view of sunlight in Italy, located north of the Tropic of Cancer. The ideal location in terms of sunlight for spirulina growth is positioned exactly in where Calabria is. Um, uh, there is more we need to add about our spirulina, which is grown in healthy and controlled waters, starting with the use of drinking water. In China or India, where most of the spirulina comes from and is then transformed and elaborated by our European competitors, the hygienic condition of the waters are very dubious, so much so that those producers, in order to lower the colibacterial load, very often subject the spirulina to cobalt irradiation, a practice that, besides lowering the protein content, here is another reason why the dose they recommend reaches 5 grams, could produce a serious compromise of the wholesomeness of their spirulina. For this reasoning, it can be deduced that our strong point in producing a quality spirulina is the use of technology that is careful to make the most of natural resources, the use of a control system for the hygiene and the healthiness of the cultivation water, the use of organic nutrients that will soon lead us to the organic certification of our product. In addition to our business, we recommend that consumers of spirulina pay close attention to where the spirulina they will put in their mouth is cultivated. Italian spirulina, in any case, for the hygienic controls to which its production is subjected, is certainly a guarantee of healthiness. One of the aspects that made us immediately fall in love with spirulina is its strong nutritional potential. A small spoonful of spirulina, about 1 gram, contains, for example, at the same time, as much protein as an egg, as much vitamin B1 as 3 slices of bread, as much vitamin B2 as 200 grams of asparagus, as much iron as 1.5 artichokes. Starting from this high concentration of nutritious element, the UN has in fact established the Intergovernmental Institution for the Use of Microalga Spirulina Against Malnutrition and supports the production of spirulina as the only food supplement to fight national food emergencies in developing countries. Biorisi will contribute to the supply of spirulina through this intergovernmental institution. Biorisi has chosen an ethical path for the respect and dignity of its worker. The operational workforce is equally divided between men and women, just like the corporate structure. At least 1/5 of the operative workforce will be and is occupied by disadvantaged people. With respect to these issues and as evidence of this, Biorisi received in December 2019 the award CEF Call for the Economy of Francis. There is a competition for innovative ideas and process and projects conceived in Calabria and oriented to the social economy in the wake of the magisterium of Pope Francis, established by the Calabrian Episcopal Conference with the technical and the scientific support of all of three universities in Calabria. The contribution of spirulina to the preservation of the ecosystem and its real productive eco-sustainability is demonstrated in the amount of natural resources used to produce a given amount of protein. Specifically, to produce the same amount of protein, the cultivation of spirulina uses compared to soybeans, 1/27th of the land and 1/4 of the water. Compared to corn, 1/37th of the land and 1/6 of the water. Compared to wheat and cattle feedlot, 1/317th of land and 1/50th of water. Also, the soil may not be a valuable one compared to agricultural production. In all this, spirulina is by nature and um, an eco-friendly production because its growth is efficient in the significant release of oxygen into the atmosphere and in the important consumption of carbon dioxide that it used in chlorophyll photosynthesis. We operate in a complex system full of very stimulating dynamics. In all of this, it is important to be able to grasp these stimuli, but also to select those that are most decisive for the development of our company. I would say that these inputs can be divided into three broad categories that I will explain. The first is that deriving from the constant observation of the functioning of our plants and of the spirulina cultivation process. Starting from this observation, we have developed and continue to develop, starting from the initial patent, the optimization of the electromechanical parts of the plant, the lowering of the risk of mortality of cultivation beds, the improvement of the quality of spirulina produced and the path towards the recognition of organic cultivation. In the last year, the result of this constant activity has been the patent application for a new electromechanical system of filtering and collection of spirulina invented by us and already prototyped and capable of multiplying tenfold the efficiency of the one we started with. The creation of a small greenhouse for acceleration and preservation of the mother strain, which represents a sort of insurance in case of problems with the cultivation beds of the greenhouses, and the gradual substitution in the diet of spirulina of a part of the classical nutrients with organic nutrients classified as usable in certified organic production. The second category of inputs derives from the incentives that come from the world of scientific research, to which we are particularly focused and in which we are accompanied by collaborative relationship with the universities and research centers. Among these, for example, uh, the one concerning the extraction for the use of phycochanin, a beneficial pigment present in large quantities in our spirulina for pharmaceutical use. Last but not least, and as already mentioned, research for the creation of new superfoods starting from the most classic foods of the Mediterranean diet. So oil, pasta and bakery products, jam, cheese, etc. That the, we develop together with other producers and with the technical support of nutritionists. We know and we are aware that spirulina, in addition to presenting a strong growth in demand at the international level, is highly regarded by the scientific world as an alga with great potential. Our future is mainly linked to these new scientific and technological developments in a rapidly expanding market in which the focus is on human health and well-being, and also on the fight against malnutrition in many communities. Our idea is to affirm our presence in the international scene in the spirit of our parent company Oil Fox, and not only from the point of view of business, but also in contributing fairer world and more attentive and more focused to environmental conservation. We imagine creating other plants always better at other latitudes and longitudes, starting with those we are already working on, and in the pre-planning stage, as Singapore, Dubai, Santo Domingo, and one day we may even land in Africa, where spirulina was born. Along with this, the idea of making spirulina an increasingly popular food associated with other foods, and in the future to be able to contribute to utilizing its many properties in the medical and pharmacological fields. Our mission, like that one of the founding father of this project, should guide us to leave the world a little better than we found it, as Lord Baden-Powell said.